King Hain presents Wong Rong, Requiem of Revenge. When the Dead Remember, Destiny Begins Again. Episode 3. Farewell to the Past. She once rose from nothing, a mortal turned legend, worshipped like a goddess. But fame fades and even gods fall. In death, her story should have ended. Yet her soul refused to rest. She remembered. She desired. She dreamed again, not of love but of vengeance. When the dead remember, destiny begins again. The parable ends, but her soul remembers. This is the afterlife where desire never dies. This story is entirely fictional. All characters, plots, and events are the author's creation. Any resemblance to real people or events is purely coincidental. This work is a literary exploration of human nature and the myth of fate and karma, with no intention of alluding to or commenting on any real individuals. San Francisco, Chinatown. Another summer evening. Fong Ming and Xia Yu were dining at a Chinese restaurant. They sat across from each other in a booth, ordering 2 bowls of wonton noodles, a plate of pan-fried dumplings, a dish of Chinese broccoli, some crispy fish skin, and 2 cups of hot milk tea. As they enjoyed their meal, they chatted leisurely about daily life. Today was a public holiday. Xia Yu didn't have to teach English at the community center, but she had to accompany Fong Ming to Chinatown to buy medicinal herbs and food for their daughter-in-law's nourishment. This was because Xia Lixian's wife, Yin Mei, was pregnant and currently staying at their home. Fong Ming's 2 sons, Fong Zheng and Xia Lixian, both married soon after graduating from university. Yin Mei was Xia Lixian's college classmate. After graduation, they went to work on the East Coast together. Now that she was expecting, and with Xia Lixian busy at work and not knowing how to care for a pregnant wife, the couple decided that Yin Mei should return to her hometown in San Francisco to rest. Yin Mei only had her parents and an aunt in the eastern city, and she had come alone to study in the US. Xia Yu, feeling that her daughter-in-law had no relatives here, treated her like her own daughter, caring for her in every possible way. Yin Mei was simple and cheerful, and got along well with her in-laws. Haha, look at that kid Lixian. Usually so mild and slow, but when it comes to life's big moments, he's decisive. He even beat his brother to having a child. Fong Ming grinned as he ate. His appetite especially good since learning he'd soon be a grandfather. Luckily, he's not as stubborn as you. Otherwise, I'd have died of anger long ago. Xia Yu rolled her eyes, smiling with mock annoyance. Yes, you're right, my dear, Fong Ming replied, immediately picking up some crispy fish skin, her favorite, and putting it in her bowl. Seeing Fong Ming's antics, Xia Yu found him even more endearing. She thought to herself how much her husband had changed over the years. Gentler, always smiling, always joking and teasing her, as if growing younger with age. No, Fong Ming as a child was cynical and angry. He was never as happy as he is now in his old age. They'd known each other since childhood, but until they broke up, she'd never seen Fong Ming so relaxed and cheerful. That made Xia Yu feel deeply content. But Xia Yu seemed to remember something, her tone worried. Earlier, I told Fong Zheng he was about to become an uncle. Of course he was happy, but from our talk, it seems he and Lizzie don't want children. They're not planning to have any. She glanced at Fong Ming. Should I find a chance to talk to him? Fong Ming, savoring his dumpling, put down his chopsticks and waved his hand. These days, marriage and having children are their own business. As parents, it's best for us to say less and let them decide for themselves. He took a sip of milk tea, then sighed. It's not easy to raise kids now. The responsibility is theirs, not ours. Xia Yu listened in amazement. You, an old traditionalist, have really changed. I thought you'd care a lot about this. Sigh, what I care about now is that if we really have to look after grandkids, it'll eat into our time as a couple. Fong Ming pulled a long face and sighed melodramatically. He meant it. Though happy to be a grandfather, nothing was more important to him than Xia Yu. Xia Yu, though no longer young, blushed at her husband's words. Having a little one in the house makes it livelier. Besides, Li Xian has already applied to be transferred back to San Francisco for work, and he's planning to buy a house nearby. Of course. Would he just leave his wife and child behind? Fong Ming put down his tea and glared. Don't be like that. Li Xian has taken leave and will visit home next week to see his wife. Maybe we can go to Vegas for a few days. What do you think? Xia Yu smiled wryly. That brought a smile back to Fong Ming's face. Then I'll book the hotel. You, enough talking, eat before the food gets cold. The overseas Chinese couple sat in the restaurant, chatting and laughing. Simple, warm, and content. After the meal, Fong Ming went to the counter to pay as usual, while Xia Yu waited outside. As Xia Yu pushed open the door, Fong Ming quickly glanced around the restaurant, his sharp gaze sweeping over the booth behind their table. Though he'd been laughing and chatting with Xia Yu just now, he'd felt an unshakable sense of being watched. He didn't alarm Xia Yu but casually looked around, saw nothing suspicious. But his instincts were always sharp. When he glanced behind their booth, the uneasy feeling vanished instantly. Sir, here's your $3 change, the owner said politely. Keep it as a tip. Fong Ming smiled, then left the restaurant. On the way home, Fong Ming couldn't shake off his suspicions. Wong Rong had found Fong Ming at that restaurant, sitting in a booth behind him and Xia Yu, watching them dine. When Fong Ming suddenly turned and looked sharply in her direction, she was startled and instinctively hid. She knew, of course, that no matter how hard Fong Ming looked, he couldn't see her, but she still felt intimidated by his sudden commanding stare. Now, Wong Rong finally knew how Fong Ming and his family were doing. His son was married, and Fong Ming had married his former girlfriend Xia Yu. They seemed to be living happily. It was only now that Wong Rong realized Xia Yu had already been pregnant with Fong Ming's child when she was forced to leave years ago. She really was a good woman. Wong Rong had to admit this fact. She was even truly grateful to Xia Yu for choosing to give birth and raise their son alone in a strange place, never coming back to tangle with Fong Ming or ruin his marriage. Wong Rong knew she didn't have that kind of strength or tolerance. But, inevitably, her gratitude was quickly drowned by jealousy. Because she saw that Fong Ming with Xia Yu was truly happy. Only when someone is overflowing with genuine joy can that kind of smile appear on their face. Wong Rong thought of the first 10 years after their marriage, which was the peak of Fong Ming's career. Yet, even then, he never smiled at her the way he did now. At that time he was with Xia Yu. Later, in Wong Rong's memory, Fong Ming was always gloomy and defeated. The vibrant, heroic man she'd first met had long since vanished with his career's demise. Now, a few years older, Fong Ming radiated vitality and youth, an undeniable change brought about by Xia Yu. Wong Rong felt bitter, and resentment welled up within her. Las Vegas, a midnight. A stunningly beautiful woman in a red silk slip dress, her long black hair gleaming against her snow-white back, walked down the bustling street. Wherever she went, men couldn't help but turn and stare. She strode confidently into a 5-star hotel, then into the bar off the hotel lobby. As she pushed open the bar's ornate glass door, music wafted out. Inside, the lights shimmered in purple and red. The air was thick with the scent of alcohol and smoke. The men near the door were all captivated by her. But the rest of the men were still absorbed by the stage in the corner, where a band played the blues and a young female singer's deep, silky voice floated through the air.
The sky still wears the same old blue, like a page I never turned away from you. I close my eyes and dream through the same haze. Your face appears again in the looping world that I'm not quite sure.
The singer was a girl of 16 or 17, in a bright white mini dress, swaying gently with the rhythm. Her face was delicate and shy, but her voice was sultry and alluring. That contrast was mesmerizing. No wonder the men in the bar hardly noticed the stunning beauty who'd just entered, including her target, Fong Ming. Fong Ming sat alone at the bar, one arm on the counter, idly playing with his glass. He wasn't particularly handsome, but his rugged features, thick brows, and piercing eyes gave him a rare masculine charm. It was this that had drawn Wong Rong to him years ago. He sat with his back to the bar, watching the girl on stage with a gaze both focused and bewildered. Wong Rong felt a surge of annoyance. She had come here just to find him. She straightened her chest and strode over confidently, starting the conversation. She sings really well. The lyrics are meaningful too. She had transformed herself into a seductress, checking her reflection in the hotel lobby mirror before she entered. She looked nothing like her old self. She was the kind of woman any man would fall for at first sight. Fong Ming turned to look at her, surprised at first, then giving a faint smile. "Yes, but I don't know you." Wong Rong smiled charmingly. "From this moment we know each other." Before Fong Ming could respond, she sat down elegantly beside him and continued, "You came here alone?" A trace of confusion flashed in Fong Ming's eyes before he nodded. "Yes, I came alone." He turned back to the girl on stage. "Oh, is that so?" Wong Rong chuckled inwardly because these days she'd been following Fong Ming and Xia Yu in spirit form. She had seen Xia Lixian return home, and then Fong Ming and Xia Yu come to this very hotel in Vegas. After Xia Yu fell asleep, Fong Ming, who never drank in front of his wife, came here alone to drink and listen to music. So he claimed to be alone. No cat can resist fish, Wong Rong thought. That girl. I feel like I've seen her before. Why is she singing here? Fong Ming muttered to himself, his gaze still lingering on the girl, his expression even more dazed. Wong Rong was furious. Here she was, a seductive beauty by his side, and he only had eyes for that unattainable girl. But she kept a bewitching smile on her face, leaning in closer and lowering her voice. "It's a bit too noisy here. Why don't we go somewhere quieter to talk?" She poured all her feminine allure into her voice and movements. "No, if you have something to say it here." "Rong." Suddenly, Fong Ming pulled his gaze away and turned to face Wong Rong, looking at her seriously. Wong Rong's heart skipped a beat, but she smiled. "Rong? Who's that? Do I look like her?" Fong Ming continued to stare at her, then sighed. "Rong, stop pretending. You can change your appearance but not your aura. The moment I saw you, I knew you were Wong Rong. And just now, that little gesture, tucking your hair behind your ear when you're confident, confirmed it." He spoke gently. Wong Rong was stunned. She never knew Fong Ming was such an astute observer. But she forced a laugh. Sir, tucking hair is a common thing for girls. Fong Ming sighed and glanced at her left hand on the counter. And that rose diamond ring. That was your wedding ring, the one I had a famous designer make. One of a kind. Is that common? Rong, stop playing games. At this, Wong Rong's facade finally crumbled. She looked down at her finger. The ring was set with a large fiery diamond, surrounded by a delicate platinum rose and tiny gold leaves. Fong Ming was right. He'd spared no expense on their wedding, and the ring was a famous designer's unique creation, the talk of the town back then. She had taken on another woman's form but hadn't realized she was still wearing her own wedding ring. Fong Ming gazed at her, expressionless. Knowing she was exposed, Wong Rong gave a wry smile. After the divorce, I lost track of you. I just wanted to see if you were doing well. You just can't stand that Xia Yu and I are happy, Fong Ming sneered. Fong Ming, I know you think I'm ruthless and shameless, but I truly loved you. Wong Rong snapped, her anger and shame flaring. Fong Ming didn't look at her, staring instead at his drink, as if seeing something in its reflection. Ming! Wong Rong's voice softened as if she wanted to say more. Fong Ming took a deep breath and spoke slowly. Rong, I've always wanted to tell you I'm sorry. Wong Rong was stunned, not understanding. These years I've realized we were a mistake from the start. How could it have ended well? He looked up at her, his eyes bitter. I never should have betrayed Xia Yu. And I share the blame for what happened with Xing Jun. We're 20 years apart. You're playful and lively. I'm clueless and insensitive. We could never truly connect. He paused, as if steeling himself for what came next. And later I made you carry the burden of supporting the family alone. I've always felt I owed you. Wong Rong had never seen the man she'd lived with for so many years look so sad and conflicted. That bitterness, guilt, regret, pain. His hand shook on his glass. He lifted it to drink, then set it down and said, Rong, I actually quit drinking long ago. Before she could react, he added, that night, I never should have been so impulsive. If I hadn't been there, no one would have died. Or if I'd refused you from the start, your life would have been different. Rong, I'm sorry. Tears slipped silently down Fong Ming's cheeks. Wong Rong stared at the only man who had ever given her happiness and warmth, already sobbing. She returned to her true form. Ming, I know I was wrong. Let's start over. She hugged him, but he did not hug her back. Rong, it's time you saw the truth. You've never really loved me. In fact, you don't know how to love anyone but yourself. Fong Ming's voice was gentle, but his words pierced all illusion. Suddenly, the bar fell silent. The lights went out. The music stopped abruptly, purple-red replaced by ghostly blue. A lone spotlight shone on the girl on stage, who continued singing.
I lay my head while the daylight's burning, wake to stars when the night is turning.
Only the girl's voice remained, sharp and inescapable in the silence. Impossible. How could I know this song? She was certain she'd never heard it before, but Wong Rong involuntarily sang the next lines in her heart, perfectly in sync with the girl.
I chase your steps through streets I've never been, touch the echoes where your voice has been. And I'm traveling through time's thin veil.
She was sure it was her first time hearing it, yet it felt deeply familiar, like words carved into the bedrock of her mind. Like knowing her name was Wong Rong. Since what day had she known that? Her ears buzzed. The room grew cold. She slowly turned to look at the girl on stage. The girl looked back and waved, smiling as she sang.
Only to find I'm walking the same old trail.
Wong Rong, terrified, turned back to Fong Ming, still holding him. In this sea of darkness, his body was the only driftwood she could cling to. His bright eyes, her only light. Ming, that girl. I know I've seen her, but where? Ming, do you know who she is? Her wide, panicked eyes brimmed with tears, pleading for an answer or something more. Fong Ming looked at her, his gaze full of pity. I feel like I've seen her too, but I don't know. Then, gently moving Wong Rong aside, he said, Rong, look at me. I'm a man in my 60s, but I look as I did when we first met. Isn't that strange? And these clothes? I remember wearing this leather jacket the first time I visited your film set. Wong Rong looked Fong Ming up and down. He was right. She hadn't noticed that the Fong Ming before her looked as he did when they first met, not like the one she'd just seen at the restaurant. And why haven't you wondered how I could leave Xiaoyu and come alone to Vegas? No way. Did Ming really come alone? Wong Rong was shocked. But I clearly saw. No, I really saw. Wong Rong's thoughts swirled in confusion. The girl and her song vanished. Total silence. A calm male voice broke the frozen moment. I have to go. And you should return to where you belong. Rong, farewell forever. Fong Ming was cold again, gently pushing her away and walking toward the door, leaving her behind. No. Ming, don't go. Wong Rong finally reacted, chasing after him. He turned back, but she was instantly engulfed in blinding white light. She could see neither Fong Ming nor the bar. The light stabbed her eyes, pierced every pore like needles. Ah! The intense light pulled her toward another space. As Wong Rong screamed in terror, she lost consciousness. When she awoke, she was back inside the statue. San Francisco, Bay Area. Xiaoyu and Fong Ming's home was in an upscale neighborhood, peaceful and safe, with no strangers about at night. But tonight, an uninvited guest arrived at their door. It was, of course, the relentless Wong Rong. After the Vegas incident, her energy depleted. She stayed in the statue, absorbing luck and regaining spiritual power. A month later, she was ready and found her way here. Wong Rong thought, Ming would never leave Xiaoyu, but if I could take over Xiaoyu's body, I could be with him again. If she could really succeed, living on in Xiaoyu's body, she'd even give up her plans. Even Wong Rong didn't know why she was so obsessed with Fong Ming. Except for yourself, you can't love anyone. Wong Rong shook her head, trying to erase Fong Ming's words from her mind. Maybe you're right, but Ming, I just want you, that's all. She bit her lip and walked quickly toward the door. Boom! About 10 meters from the house, she was bounced back by an invisible, powerful force. A barrier. Stunned, Wong Rong looked at the house, unable to believe it. Wong Rong, this is the end. Leave now. A cold female voice sounded behind her. Wong Rong turned. A woman of about 30, dressed in a white business suit, her sleek black hair pulled into a neat bun, appeared, like any successful professional coming home late. But this woman could see Wong Rong. Looking closer, her oval face and fair skin were somewhat like Xiaoyu's, but her arched brows and phoenix eyes shone coldly, her whole being radiating a holy aura. The woman's gaze pinned Wong Rong where she stood, making her heart tremble. No way she could win a head-on fight. She had to play along. Fine, I'll go. She turned to leave, intending to wait for another opportunity. But as she grew smug, a sudden sound snapped behind her. Before she could react, searing pain shot through her back. "Ah!" Wong Rong howled, falling and writhing on the ground, her back smoking and burning. "I was already leaving. Why did you attack me?" She saw the woman now holding a white bottle in her left hand and a willow branch in her right. She had struck Wong Rong with the willow branch, leaving half her back a scorched, bloody mess, still smoking. Seeing her foe's power, Wong Rong was terrified. "Did you think I didn't know your tricks, pretending to leave, waiting for your chance to sneak in?" The woman's face was solemn and cold. "Listen, I won't allow you to harm anyone in this house. If I see you again, you'll be obliterated." She stepped closer, her gaze colder. "That strike was to show you. I absolutely can destroy you." Crushed by the woman's aura, Wong Rong dared not linger, fleeing in humiliation and rage. "Just because I'm weak now, let me gather more power, and maybe I'll be able to defeat you." But as soon as she had this thought, she heard the woman's voice again, now softer, even tinged with pity. "You don't even have a soul left. Everything you're doing is in vain. I advise you stop being so stubborn. Repent while you still can." Terrified that the woman might come after her, Wong Rong rushed back into her statue. Thank you for listening to Wong Rong, Requiem of Revenge. Every story leaves a trace, and yours, as a listener, completes hers. Her name is King Hain. She is a Hong Kong creator who moves between the worlds of fate and literature. With her pen, she writes about human desires and destiny, exploring the struggle and cycles of fate. She believes that stories are not just stories. Every play of fate reflects the soul within us. Her works include The Chronicle of Burning Dreams, The Tale of Wong Rong, and the ongoing The Sequel to Wong Rong. These stories are about choice, belief, and how people search for themselves amid the great waves of destiny. What we hear is not just a novel, but a dialogue between souls,